All right, let's call this June 9th, 2026, Essex County Board of Supervisors regular meeting to order. John, would you lead us in the invocation, please?
Will the board please stand, bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance and wisdom. As we begin this meeting, help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of the community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the citizens of Essex County, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen. Now, will everybody please face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. April, will you do a roll call, please?
Chairman Akers.
Present.
Vice Chairman Gill.
Present.
Supervisor Hale.
Present.
Supervisor Henry.
Here.
Supervisor Magruder.
Here.
Thank you, gentlemen. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Get someone to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and properly seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We have a few recognitions. First, Kay Carlton, you're going to introduce our new Parks and Recreation staff. Mr. Hammond.
Good evening, board members, chairperson. This is Sterling Hammond. He is my new assistant. Thank goodness. He has hit the ground running with the pool and all. He's the first day you started at the pool, right? I think. Sterling is from Essex County, graduated from Essex High School, got a degree from Virginia Union. I told him I was probably going to mess that up, okay? He has volunteered for years now for coaching the Little League football and Little League baseball, right? So he worked for me years ago, which I thought was like not that long ago. He used to be one of my lifeguards. Worked for me as a referee for like 2 or 3 years, and we were talking to Ms. Rounds one day, and he turned around, he goes, Miss Kay, I'm 30 years old. I went, oh my gosh, where did time fly? But yeah, so he's with us again, and we're so excited to have him. Is there something you'd like to say?
Just happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
We're glad to have you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember when he was. I was going to say, I remember when Sterling was in Little League himself. So.
Second, I want to recognize Mr. Perry Hickman. Perry was named Executive Director of the
Middle Peninsula.
Middle Peninsula Planning District Commission, and his official date starts on Monday the 15th. So congratulations to that. Great to have some of our community part of that. And last but certainly not least, we have a proclamation and a recognition of Ms. Hall. I'm going to read that here on the microphone, and then Ms. Hall, we're going to come down and present it to you. But our proclamation here says, whereas Miss Lucy Dew Williams Hall celebrates a remarkable milestone of her 107th birthday on May 9th, 2026. And whereas throughout more than a century of life, Miss Lucy Hall has witnessed extraordinary historical events, societal changes, and technological advances, serving as a living link to generations past. And whereas her life has been marked by resilience, wisdom, perseverance, grace, inspiring family, friends, neighbors, and all who have had the privilege of knowing her. And whereas Miss Lucy Hall has enriched her community through her kindness, dedication, and values she has shared with others over the course of her lifetime. And whereas her 107 years represents a legacy of strength, experience, and countless contribution that deserves recognition and celebration. And whereas her story serves as an inspiration to people of all ages and reminds us of the importance of family, community, and a life well lived. Now, therefore, I, Robert L. Akers, Jr., Chairman of the Essex County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim May 9th as Lucy Dew Williams Hall Day, in the county of Essex, Virginia, encourage all citizens to join in celebrating her extraordinary 107 years of life, her many accomplishments, and the positive impact she has made on those around her. I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the Essex County Board of Supervisors this 9th day of June 2026. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Feet. That's 107 years young, right? Amen.
Lock the wheels, Rob.
I think this, if he wants to get us in, he gets us. Do you want to include some family and friends? Come on, family and friends. You're more important here. Come on.
She personally told me she's getting married tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you folks don't want to stay for the rest of this meeting, I'll give you just a quick minute if you want to go ahead and head out and celebrate. I mean, you're welcome to stay if you want, but it's not going to be as exciting as what we just did. I promise you. Right. Thank you all.
I just gonna be 77, man. She's 107, man. That's a miracle.
Oh, yeah.
My great aunt, she's 98. She with me.
My great-grandmother's 30.
She with me. She with me. Remember they get me. She put a couple of She said, last week to the party.
Thank you all.
Good night. Take care, Ms. Lucy.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Sit down and
All right, so we have several public hearings tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and read the public hearing rules of procedure. So the purpose of a public hearing is to receive testimony from the public on certain resolutions, ordinance, or amendments prior to taking action. A hearing is not a dialogue or debate. Its express purpose is to receive additional facts, comments, and opinions on subject items. Speakers should approach the lectern so they may be visible and audible to the board. Each speaker should clearly state his or her name and address. All comments should be directed to the board. All questions should be directed to the chairman. Members of the board are not expected to respond to questions, and response to questions shall be made at the chairman's discretion. Speakers are encouraged to contact staff regarding unresolved concerns or to receive additional information. Speakers with questions are encouraged to call county staff prior to the public hearing. Speakers should be brief and avoid repetition of previously presented comments. At the conclusion of the public hearing on each item, the chairman will close the public hearing. The board will proceed with its deliberation and will act on or formally postpone action on such item prior to proceeding to other agenda items. Further public comment after the public hearing has been closed generally will not be permitted. Go ahead, Steph. So our first public hearing item is for the VADI grant. This is a budget action form for the amendment on our
Broadband.
initiative, sorry.
And it's purely procedural.
Yeah, this is procedural, so I'll open up the floor right now for any comments regarding our VADI grant. Hearing none, I will close that. Our next public hearing is for the adoption of the failure to pay full-time and attention ordinance. This was presented to us at our last meeting from our Commonwealth Attorney. It just provides additional opportunity for, to give the Commonwealth Attorney some opportunity to impose a different sentence that would provide revenues to the county. So with that, I will open that up for any public comments regarding proposed ordinance 26-003. Board members, do you need to have the Commonwealth Attorney go into any other detail on that before we open it up? With that, I'll open it up for any public comment.
Just real quick question, is just when would that start if we approve this? July 1. Okay, thank you.
Hearing none, we'll move to the next public hearing, which is for the permit fees. Gentlemen, we received those permit fees previously at our work session. So with that, I'll open the floor up for any comments on the proposed ordinance 26-001, our permit fees. Hearing none, I will close that out.
A quick question again, when would that start? July 1st, is that correct?
As drafted in the agenda packet, it is effective July 1.
July 1st, okay. Thank you.
And finally, the public hearing for rezoning case 2026002, a request to rezone from B1 to R3. And this was the letter from the town of Tappahannock regarding McKinley Residential Development Project 06092026.
This is the rezoning request that
We heard
Brian
last week.
Barnes, yes,
That was-
presented
yeah.
to you at the last
Yeah,
board
we were
meeting.
briefed last week on this. The planning commission has taken, made a recommendation to us. We did not do a public hearing. We heard about it in our work session, so this is the public hearing part of that. So with that, I'll open it up for public hearing on rezoning case 202600022. Do we have any additional comments on that? Hearing none, we'll close that out. We'll now move into our public comments. Each speaker shall provide his or her full name and Essex County address for the record before addressing the board. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes, and at this point, I'll open it up for public comment. Mr. Hickman, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, board members. Hurry Hickman, 251 Hickman Road, North District of Tappahannock, Essex County. Asking the board to actually look at or to consider highway repairs or repaving to Mount Landing Road, right, 627 between Fog Loop, and also looking at the Fernley Road in the Malsey Pond area. some pretty substantial holes in the highway there, which is going to create some problems for residents in the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional public comments? Hearing none, we'll close out public comments. Next, we'll move into our county administrator and agency reports. I'll just start briefly. We've had a couple meetings here. We've had our last meeting of our joint session with the school board. I don't have anything to add that we haven't discussed since that time that we met. With that, April, do you have anything additional to add to your report?
I do not. Happy to answer any questions
Board
from the
members,
board.
do you have any questions for April regarding her administrative report? Thank you. Carlos, do you have anything to add to your report?
Greetings. So yeah, for broadband, we GV 18 and 15 had a fiber transport issue, but they should finish by the end of this week. So hopefully that is the case, and we'll put that online. GV 14, they are right now in that like power supply 30 to 60 day waiting period at REC. So it might go end of June, but we're pretty sure that one's gonna have to push to end of July. But then after that one turns on, all of the public roads will be active, and so then it's just picking up the different private road areas. The other thing, Breeze Line's looking to hold like some sort of triumph event thing, and in a like September, October timeframe. And so obviously inviting you guys, bringing somebody from the FCC, from DHCD, but think about other parties you want to make sure are able to make it to that event. And they're starting the planning process now. And then I guess once we figure out like how many people it'll be, then we can start looking for venues and the like. But that to plant the bug to get that to get those gears rolling.
Carlos, our board members, any questions for Carlos? Thank you, Carlos.
Gotcha. And yeah, if you know anyone who lives down a private road, let them know to contact Breeze Line or me to get them the Breeze Line.
Yep, and there is information for the public on our website, on Breeze Line's website. There's links, there's a ton of information there. So anybody that's considering getting it that hasn't, reach out now before this project is closed.
Exactly.
Because it'll cost more, it'll cost a lot more to do it after the fact. So,
Definitely.
thank you, Carlos. Don't believe we have anything else for building and zoning.
I have a question there that actually Max might be able to answer more than anybody. They're talking about legislation that passed adding battery storage to solar. Can you enlighten us a little bit? I mean, is this something that we as a local county don't have a choice here? What update me?
In a word, yes. Their legislation is going into effect July 1. And I know Brian and Lauren and their staff are looking at what tweaks need to be made to the ordinance. But essentially, battery energy storage facilities have to be allowed as a by right accessory use to any solar application that is approved by a special exception or conditional use permit, special use permit, whatever it may be. So that applies to previously approved projects as well as anything that's proposed in the future.
If that's the case, that previously approved, and we have a previously approved, does that enable us to change, how do I say this? A lot of the rules changed since our solar went in, and that they're able to generate income greater than we are because we're kind of grandfathered in. Does this change that in any way that allows us to correctly?
Not in a word, no, but there is still siting agreement authority for battery energy systems. These accessory systems are treated a little bit differently. So
they will come under new rules for revenue generating or whatever. What do they call those agreements that they have with the solar?
Siting agreements.
Siting
They would
agreements.
potentially qualify for a siting agreement,
They
but
could qualify for that. Okay,
yes,
that's
but-
good news.
yeah.
So if somebody we still have to approve this, somebody wants to bring in battery storage,
Not not accessory to a solar application.
Right.
so there's no approval process that,
There would be for the underlying solar,
right,
but
not for the battery storage.
correct. So it is something we'll be, addressing with
So
you
what
all.
we do, okay.
Yeah.
And then the safety issues, they will still have to follow, and who sets those, I should say? Did the state set those safety guidelines, separation of units, that kind of stuff?
All very good questions. The statute only says that local fire safety and environmental regulations have to be followed, but it does not specify any actual performance standards for the facilities that would be mandatory by right.
Bottom line, board, is that it sounds like we're gonna get stuck with some cost or some whatever to make sure that this is done safely. It's typical state debt from the top down, and we get stuck with it, but, all right, I'm done, sorry. But my concern, thank you,
Thank
Max. You're the bearer of the news, you're nothing against you there, thank you.
Centralized services needed, did you have anything to add to your report? Evening.
I had two good news pieces of information that came after I had submitted my report. Mr. Magruder brought up the House of Representatives passed the community funding project that Representative Whitman had in for us for our joint facilities project. So that's one step closer. We just have to wait for the Senate now. And then we let the sheriff know that we received the award for the school resource officer grant. So that was $32,786. So we are excited to receive those couple of additional steps forward.
Perfect. And we, this came up at our last meeting, and I believe I talked to April about it. We're looking, and I believe with the whole bonus structure program, we've contacted the state and looked for the, I forget what it was called, the decertification.
Yes, you had inquired if the funds were received and sent back, and I worked with
I-
Ada to make sure
yeah.
that we received the actual decertification certificate or
Communication, yeah.
acknowledgement, the communication before we did so.
Yes, and I received that
Yep.
yesterday, and I was gonna get with treasurer to get those funds sent back.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any
I do
questions?
have some questions here.
Okay, go ahead.
Nita, in your report, you talked about the SPED 2026 grant of $337,930, that reports were needed from the school SPED director. When are they due? I just want to make it clear that we're not responsible for this, and they are, and I
so-
don't know how to make sure that they get these in.
These are the time and effort reports which are required for us to submit these reimbursement requests. I made the request. I have not received any word from anyone.
In fact,
Hopefully
I
they're
think we
working on
made
them.
it pretty clear that that should be the first priority on Thursday morning after our Wednesday meeting.
I know it was, and here we are.
I have not received any word, not an acknowledgement, no word at all.
Explain to me if this doesn't happen.
If we don't receive those
Reports.
reports, then those reimbursement requests should not be made because that's part of the documentation which the auditors found we were lacking in their previous review of those reimbursements that we received.
So if I'm understanding clearly, if these time and effort reports aren't filed by the school SPED director, then the $337,930, which has been spent, will then have to be covered by,
County and state funds?
okay? So I don't know how we
So-
as a county board, make sure that these reports are submitted.
Right. And they should be submitted to our office to
Correct.
go as to the audit backup
Correct.
for when that's looked at again.
Until the school who decided they wanted the financial stuff back, which happens July 1st. So that leads right into the second question. You have the SPED 2027. VDOA requested additional information.
On May 29th, and I believe it was last week, that they rejected it. Like, they had it open, remained open, looking for additional information. They did not receive any communication. So they have denied it, so the whole application will have to be submitted again if somebody submits it with the requested information.
Is there a deadline for that?
The deadline was May 8th for the initial deadline. I have been in communications with our VDOE folks, and they said that they will move it to the front of the line as soon as somebody lets them know that it has been resubmitted.
Thank you.
Again,
But, yeah, at some point, they'll stop. I mean, that's my fear, is they're graciously leaving this open because they know that there's been some transition and some turnover in the past year. But at some point, I fear that their patience will end.
But in all reality, Supervisor Magruder, if those funds have to be returned, it's going to be a debit against the schools.
and if I understand correctly, we still have to provide that service at our cost then. Is that what I'm hearing?
We receive the money, so we'd be responsible for returning the money, but it would be expensed against the schools.
And they see that, they know this. I'm just showing my frustration, and I apologize, but that's the reality, is that we've seen this again and again, and we've requested again and again, and there's no follow-through, and we can't do this, right? It has to come
No,
from that.
I don't know what teachers have worked, like, this is not a financial component. I've covered all the financial components that I can cover.
Because also you reported that the all-in fund of $166,932 had to be returned, because this is something that went back to 2023?
It began in '23. There was a 3-year plan for the use of the money that was submitted, and it was not utilized. The state gave us the money up front back in 2024. I think January 24 is when it came in, and it was never utilized each year, year over year. It was not utilized to its full extent. So 166,932 is what was remaining as of
And the
end
purpose
of
of this
May.
fund was to?
This was for tutoring, for providing kind of catch-up for children, because it came right after COVID. It was like the end of the COVID money, to bring children back up to speed with tutoring, attendance recovery, after school.
So in general, we're talking instruction for
Yes.
students?
Yes,
And they did not utilize this for instruction for students, is what I'm understanding?
Not all of it.
They didn't use any of it?
they used some of
They
it.
use some of it.
They used some of it,
yeah.
okay, well, that's better than nothing, but they could have used an additional 166,
Yeah, there
almost
was-
167, and did not utilize it.
Correct. There was 528,744.
And this
That
has
was
been,
provided.
this has been going on for 3
3
years.
years.
All right, it just frustrates me that I get a lot of flack for, we're not helping the schools, and they're not helping themselves. That's just the bottom line. I'm just gonna call it like it is, folks. And then you reported that there were 2 tax penalties because they didn't submit to the IRS for totaling over $30,000. Is there any more, or is there possibility of any more?
There is the possibility of more. Every time we receive one, we contact the IRS, and they said they are still working through 2025, which is when many of these things occurred. So the 2 that we've received were for Q1 and Q2 of 2025. Hope there could potentially be one for Q3. I believe by Q4, we had caught the payments up that hadn't been made previously, but there may be one more or 2.
And again, Board, I'm not sure where this money is coming from to cover this. It's not in the budget that the school adopted. We talked about that. And it's really not the county's responsibility, it's their responsibility, so.
I think, given where we're at today, it would behoove this board to make a formal recommendation to the school board to contact the VDOE for assistance.
I think they need something.
It's,
I think that's a great idea.
it's better coming from the schools than it would be the county, but, I mean,
We can make the recommendation.
but we could make a formal recommendation that they reach out to the VDOE for assistance.
Okay. All right.
Because we're looking, as we spoke about in our joint session, potentially $800,000 in total loss or more. But if no action is being taken and things aren't getting done, I mean, we're definitely gonna see that, so.
And the last thing, I'll get off the school, we had a body armor grant that was denied, but there's another grant that requires a 50% match. In our earlier discussion about finances, again, just about how much are we looking at to match this 50%? Do we, rough number, I'm not talking to the penny here.
Our quote was, I believe, around 40,000? Okay, yeah.
And this board
So-
approved it through the CIP, so you'll look at a return on the difference. You've
Okay,
already
so it is
matched it
part
in
of our
advance.
perfect.
Yes,
Right.
it's
So
already
we're looking at
budgeted.
about 20,000.
I don't have
2025,
2025.
Okay, that's all I need.
thereabouts.
Yeah, and a lot of those items we did move into our CIP line items.
Okay, that's smart. I got
That's
where
that.
they
right.
should be.
And it was approved for this year.
Gotcha.
We're waiting for that to open, and as soon as it does, we will apply.
Thank you, Nita.
You're welcome.
Any other
Anyone?
questions for Nita, board members? Thank you, Nita. All right, next we have, go back up to my list. Yep, yeah, communications. Kyle, you have anything to add to your report? Thank you. Cooperative extension, we have Robbie here. I don't see Robbie in the back. EDA, Woody, do you have anything to add? Thank you. Emergency services, Kyle, you have anything to add to your report? Mary's not here. No, Jay's on vacation. Dylan, anything you want to report to add to it?
It's all my shout out. Oh, yeah.
Haven, do you have any, I think Haven was in, yeah, there she is.
There she back.
Switch sides on me, you were over here, so, trying to play tricks on me. Is Kay still here? Where's Kay? Candace is not with us this evening. Chuck, do you have anything to add to your report? No, sir. We don't have anybody from voter registration. We'll move into, Christina Ambrose was here to give us an update earlier. Kristen, do you have anything to add? Thank you. Nobody from the schools is here. Sheriff Holmes, anything to add to your report? Penny, you have anything to add? Give
She's
us the good-
smiling,
give-
guys.
give us-
She's
give it- give
smiling.
us
This
the
is
good
good
news,
news.
Just two numbers for you. Real estate collection came in at 91.11%. We're right on key with last year, it was 91.6%. And personal property is down about 3% at 70.45. So we have a little bit of time left in this year and then the 60-day accrual, so hopefully that'll increase that.
Perfect.
And then I wanted to give a shout out to Dylan and Jay. They put railings at our front door, and we've had a lot of traffic in the last month, and there were many compliments. So thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Lee is not here tonight, but we heard from our comments tonight. We'll make sure that we kind of follow up on some of those VDOT requests for the roads. All right, John, go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, might as well.
I'm going to first compliment Penny and your staff. I went in, paid my taxes as all citizens do. They were courteous, they were kind, I don't know how they stayed calm. People were coming in and out so fast, it was unbelievable, but I really, really appreciate it. They did an outstanding job. Shout out to the Commissioner of Revenue. I'm sure a few people drifted over to your office as well during tax time, and I know they answered lots of questions professionally, and I appreciate that as well. In Chuck's IT report, you know, the amount of security threats that these guys are having to deal with, and I'm really impressed that they've got a 90-day plan, you know, to deal with that. That's really important, and I don't know how many emails I've been getting lately, just people trying to, you know, claiming this emergency or that to click on this. Folks, you got to watch your email, I'm telling you. And I really appreciate the IT department for all their work, and it really can disrupt county operations. So we appreciate all that they do to keep us safe and keep our departments going. I do want to thank Ryan and Jay Mitchell for helping with the new power systems that were installed for the ID department, along with Dylan and Mark and Harold assisted. These guys carried a lot of heavy stuff upstairs, and again, that teamwork is really important, and I appreciate that very, very much. The pool looks like it's looking good. A lot of work done out there with the picnic tables. But I don't know if the public realizes that all the lessons that they do out there, the water aerobics, they've got a swim team, they got camp. They're doing a lot of stuff out there. So a lot of good things for our citizens in this county. Also at the Poorhouse Park, they had a work session. The Rotary Club initiated, along with the local scout troop here, did a bunch of trail work out there. So a shout out to them for keeping that up as well. All right, Dylan and Harold came in on a Saturday, folks, a Saturday, okay, to not disrupt functions that going on in the county, to work on some new flooring here in this building. That's impressive, folks. I really appreciate that. Really says a lot about their work ethic and how much they care about the community. The HVAC system, that was pretty impressive. If you saw those pictures in your board package, board members, with that crane dropping that thing in there. So kudos to the facilities for getting all that work done. I know that was a lot of disruption, but it had to be done, and we got it done. So Haven, 112 summer readers. That's outstanding. So I'm really pleased to see that, and 197 participants in your Unearth a Story. And just really appreciate all those people that partnered with the library, as well as the exhibitors there from the community. But this library is not only just for the youth, it's also for the teens, it's also for families and adults. So again, lots of things that this community offers. I didn't know we had a drone team, okay? They had a missing juvenile, and the drone team, made up of Cameron Williams and Jonathan Sidner, were deployed, and I just think that's a great use of technology, and we're lucky to have that, really
We've
are.
had that for many years now.
So I did
Yeah.
not know this. So.
Learn something new every day, John.
I
Magruder.
do. Wes, I want to thank you, as well as Major Hayes, Sheriff, tell them thank you for all their work they did at Riverfest. Even though the weather kind of messed things up, I really appreciate what the county did to help make that successful. And next year, we're going to get good weather, and it's going to be even more awesome. Another after hours, Jay and Kyle worked 80 hours after hours to install radios in the sheriff's vehicles. And again, that dedication just blows me away. I really, really appreciate that. And last, just wanted to comment real quickly that the EDA is going to be offering a small business development center workshop. Woody was, yeah, there you are. You were over here, now you're over there. Keep me guessing. That's outstanding. That's really going to help the businesses in our area with this workshop. So thank you for all doing that. Can't wait to see if we get this Go Virginia study grant on commercial sites. Looking forward to that. But congratulations, Woody, for being on the committee for DCR for their outdoor plan technical assistance. When our people are being used at a state level, that says a lot about the caliber of people that we have. So you guys are great, and I appreciate you.
Vice Chairman Gill, have anything to add?
It's hard to top any of this, but I do have a question about the boards and committee minutes. Is this the time to talk about that, or do you want to wait?
We can, yeah.
Okay. And I noticed this when I was reading, and I think it's just something it was just a typo, but in the Planning Commission minutes on page 5, under public hearing, part B, it was the High Tide Development LLC hearing from the Planning Commission. It had, the motion was made to recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of a zoning classification, but when it gives the ayes, there's no number there. I'm assuming it's ayes were 5, nays were 0, absent was 1, but I think this is a critical piece, and we need correct the minutes to reflect the number of ayes who voted.
I agree. I'll speak with Kelly McKnight, who prepares those on behalf of the Planning Commission,
Okay.
to review the tape and to update the minutes for you.
If I had read it if I read it sooner enough, could give you a heads up, but I just saw that.
No, it's a
I mean,
good point.
earlier, but I
They
saw
should
it
actually list the
earlier.
names with the votes when it's,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah, we should
Yeah, I
have
know,
that before
I
we
know,
take
this
action
board
on
is
it.
not taking any action, so I'd like to see that for the record corrected before.
Absolutely.
Good catch. Supervisor Hale, any additional comments to add?
Well, it's not necessarily a local person, but I would like to give a shout out to Congressman Whitman for helping to get us the opportunity to get those funds from the state. I think it's a big help for him to step up for us like that.
Agreed.
He is local.
Well,
Yeah. No,
Supervisor Henry, you have anything to add?
no, John, it's coming.
I agree. I'll make one call out that we typically don't get to say, but that would be to our Commonwealth Attorney, who I can tell you, for being the chairman and working with staff here, our Commonwealth Attorney and his team have certainly, helped look out for this county, working with us as administrative, as elected officials, bring things like this ordinance to our attention, but really shows the resolve of wanting to help us look out for our citizens and do all that. So, yeah, thanks, Mike, to you and your team for all that. We gave you a hard time a lot, but we appreciate it. With that, we can move to the consent agenda. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve all three?
So move.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it. New business, proposed ordinance 26-001. These are the permit fees that we discussed in the work session that we had the public hearing on. Do we have a motion to approve the proposed ordinance 26-001 with fees as presented?
I just want to clarify, there were fees recommended by staff, and there were fees that came from the planning commission, so just to be clear on what's being adopted. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and, a motion to, approve, proposed ordinance 26-001 with fees as recommended by the staff.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Ayes
you,
have it.
gentlemen.
Next, we have proposed ordinance 26-002. This is a rezoning case 202-60022, classification from B1 to R3. We had the public hearing on this, or we just had the public hearing. We had an update from our last work session when we had the applicant here that answered questions for us. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve ordinance 26-002, rezoning from B1 to R3?
I move to approve ordinance 26-002 as presented.
Do we have a second? Hearing a second, the approval doesn't go. Is there a motion to deny ordinance 26-002?
I'll make a motion to deny 26002, and then we'll go to discussion,
Is there a second?
if there's a second.
Just want to be clear for the purposes of the motion. The denial would be for rezoning case 2026-0022. The ordinance is just the action to approve the rezoning. So a
Gotcha.
negative motion would be to deny the rezoning case.
Gotcha.
All right, so it's moved
Do
and
I need
seconded.
to restate that? Or are we good?
If that is the substance of your motion, I think
Yes.
that's fine. Okay.
All right, discussion.
Last month, when we had the public hearing and all that, and the applicant was here, did a great job of explaining, answered a lot of questions and all. From my perspective, I just want to be consistent. It is something that the county has been accused of not treating everybody the same, and we had a case come before us that had one entrance. And they also proposed a second entrance as an emergency entrance with a gate and all that. And that was one of the reasons that it didn't agree with the project, that our zoning requires two entrances. And this project here would not be consistent because it requires two entrances to rezone this from what they want. Now, they are proposing the same thing that the other case did, a back entrance with a gate on it for emergency services. It's a great solution, I understand that, but it doesn't follow our policies and our procedures. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what we were told by our building inspector, was that it requires both of those, two entrances. And if that's not the case, it would be inconsistent of me to deny this one and approve this one. So that's why I made the motion
Any other
to
discussion?
deny.
Well, just to be fair, that wasn't the only reason, but that's fine.
It's also true. It is also true.
You remember last time we spoke, there was no emergency service way, that one private drive behind there. You get a big fire truck up in there, how do we turn around? And then there was the problem about that, where the land property does, the runoff of the property. So,
Yeah, me personally, hearing from those surrounding neighbors who were really just looking to make sure there wasn't duplexes put in, that was my main concern. Those people that spoke said that was their major concern, was having duplexes, and that was proffered that it would be single-family houses. Those same neighbors have the same situation with emergency service vehicles already. That doesn't change with that. I agree with you, the runoff could be an issue, but it's something that would have to be engineered, taken care of. I, for one, am in favor of the project as proposed, of the rezoning, but it's ultimately up to the pleasure of the board as a whole.
I thought the applicant last month did a good job of explaining the erosion, so I was okay with that, but we never resolved the second entrance, and that's what's hanging me up, so I want to be consistent.
Any additional discussion?
Just for the record, I think I jumped in before. What, was there a second on that motion?
Yes.
On the motion to approve,
On the motion to
Deny.
deny
Yeah,
the
there was.
rezoning application?
Yeah,
Okay,
Joe-
thank
yeah,
you.
Supervisor Henry did. Hearing no additional discussion, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
nay.
And for the record, I will also be voting nay. So 3-2, motion passes. Next, we have the proposed ordinance 26-003, failure of paying time and attention. This was presented to us last month. And again, we had our public hearing tonight on this. This was brought to us by the Commonwealth Attorney to give the Commonwealth Attorney an opportunity to present an additional fine or flexibility of options for those with minor infractions. So is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance.
Just quickly to clarify, the ordinance as drafted is effective immediately. It may not end up in fines until after July 1, but that would be up to the pleasure of the board, whether they wanted the ordinance to actually be effective July 1 or effective immediately.
So we could specify that. So if the board is willing to specify a date of start with that.
Motion to approve ordinance 26-003 with a start date of July 1, 2026 as
Second.
presented.
Motion's been made, seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it. Next, we have proposed resolution 26-010, which is our smart scale resolution. As we discussed earlier, even though we haven't got the town's piece of that yet, we don't want to forego not getting our information in there and getting it set. But we can always come back when the town brings their piece to us and adopt a resolution at that time. So with that, I'll call if anyone would like to make a motion to approve resolution 26-010 as presented.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 26-1010 as approved.
Yeah, presented.
Presented, I'm sorry.
You got it.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just for my clarification, this only pertains to Route 360 and Cano Road and Route 360 and Dumbrook Road that's spelled out. It has nothing to do with any of the town.
Correct.
That's right.
Okay.
These are the
They
two-
still have time to, they wanted to readdress it at town council level of what Mr. James Knighton sent to and signed off on. So we don't take a chance of not getting our application submitted in time. We'll take it in two parts. We'll go ahead and secure what's required for the county, and then if the town brings theirs to us to finalize their piece of the application, we can still adopt a resolution in July and meet the deadline, and if they don't, it doesn't affect our application. We can go
Okay.
ahead and submit on time.
So it's a separate resolution for that?
Yes, we'll just do two instead of,
So was there a
waiting
deadline to get this to DMV or wherever it's going?
Yes, August.
August 1st.
August 1st?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I see that in there, okay. All right, thank you, I'm good.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ayes have it. Next, we have a real estate refund request. Kristen, I don't know if you wanted to speak to that. So with that, I'll ask if there's a motion to approve the real estate tax refund in the amount of $2,157.48 as presented.
So, so moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Any discussion?
Not a discussion, but comment. Thank you for following what exactly we want. Perfect, thank you.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ayes have it. Next, we have another motion, we have another budget action form request for this is the budget action form request that will provide the funds for the 2,150, right, to
What-
execute the.
Well, since I moved for the first motion, I'll move for this one as well.
Second.
All right, so just for the record, the motion was to approve the transfer of $2,157.48 from reserves for the purpose of issuing the real estate tax refund as presented. Then motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ayes have it. Next, we have the budget action form for the VATI grant. This is a procedural for our broadband initiative. Do we have a motion to approve the appropriation of $590,875.16 for the VATI grant as presented?
So moved? Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ayes have it. Next, we have a budget action form for a budget supplement request for Riverfest, the public safety. I'll let Administrator Rounds just explain that if there's any questions.
Sure. At the previous board meeting, the board decided to support the Riverfest request of Ms. Sharp to provide payment to pay for the sheriff and the emergency services to support the Riverfest event. You approved $4,500, which we knew would never cover the amount that would be needed to secure their presence in support of the event. So I've asked the sheriff and emergency services to provide me the additional hours that were committed to supporting the event, which is a spreadsheet and a copy of what you previously approved. The difference is what will get those ladies and gentlemen of service paid this week for those hours.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I move the transfer of $4,135 from reserves to cover the expenses for public safety costs due to Riverfest.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And just
Thank you,
for,
gentlemen.
the board's information, the emergency services rates are going to go up in the future to match.
The sheriff and the town of Tappahannock, yes,
both-
they'll be
both
$50
sheriff
an
and
hour.
town, so it will
It
go up.
was split.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an even split, but it was split between the two.
Right. So So we'll be going up to $50 an hour.
That's right.
Is that effective July 1, April?
That's right.
All right, next we have the budget action form for the ASAP grant. Board members, if you recall, this has been going on for some time. This is the ASAP mural and the work with the Tappahannock Artists Guild and that team. This is for that grant disbursement that was received. There's a motion to approve that.
So moved?
So for clarification, the motion was to approve the appropriation of $40,976.21 for the grant that we received. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it. Next, we had on the list for the budget action form for the school improvement grant. However, as we discussed at our last joint work session, there was an issue with how that was signed. We have not received anything different with that or understand of any action taken by the board regarding that grant. So I would ask that that gets tabled until such time that the appropriate information is presented to us. The next one we had was the Essex County Public Schools E-rate grant. We did talk about that.
Was there, was there a motion, or is that just like consensus to table?
We'll table it.
Okay.
Next, we have budget action form, which is the E-rate grant, which we talked about last time. We were waiting for action to be taken by the school board, but as of today, we have not received any confirmation of any action taking part in that. Is that correct? And I believe we reached out for that. So I would ask for somebody to make a motion to table that until next month.
So moved?
Second, can I,
Discussion.
discussion, we didn't officially move the table the other one, did we?
No. So on the school improvement grant, just to back up real quick, our previous motion from a May meeting? No,
Yeah.
April meeting, was that we approved it.
May 12th.
We approved it conditionally on them signing that on May 20th.
Right.
That didn't happen, which voided that motion altogether.
I understand.
And
I
that-
was just trying to be consistent. Should we table both motions or table neither motion, I guess is what my point is.
Pleasure of the board.
Pleasure.
Let's finish this one and we can go back.
Okay.
If we want to be consistent, we can go back and do that
Okay,
after this
all
one.
right.
So a motion's been made and a second on the E-rate grant to table that until our next board meeting. Any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it. And then is there a motion to table the school improvement grant until our July meeting?
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it. We have no reason to go back into closed meeting. So at that, we'll get into our board requests and directives. Essex County offices will be closed on June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. The office will be closed on July 3rd in observance for Independence Day. Our July work session will be on July 7th, 2026 at 5 p.m., followed by our regular meeting at 7 p.m. on July 7th, 2026. Any additional requests or directives by the board?
Just during our work session, we directed for the financial stuff and all that. We also talked about the
EDA.
animal shelter and EDA, so we're on top of that. The only other thing would be our strategic planning meeting. We need to get some dates out on that to poll us. And then I think Sheriff Holmes was going to send us, or somebody was going to send us
Some dates.
dates for potentially going to look at some animal shelters coming up. So we got all that. I think that's, I just wanted to review and make sure. Good enough.
So with no other board's directives, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
7:50.